Who had a better season, Arsenal or Spurs?
But we did, of course. We did.
Robbie, I don't want to answer that question.
Nah, come on. You know what? Come on. There's no point in dipping for this.
I can't even spell, meanwhile.
No point in dipping on this one. Come on, let's just say pass.
Neither.
Spurs fans win the Europa League, they'll say they've had a more successful season than us.
That's if we don't win.
If Chelsea win,
or if we win it.
If Chelsea win the Conference League and we don't win the Champions League, they'll say they've had a more successful season than us. But I'm sorry, I'm not buying it.
We did.
Robbie, I don't want to answer that question.
We did. Say?
I don't want to answer the question.
We did. And can I just add on that thing before we get off it? With the Tottenham thing, if we finish that low, people would want Mikel be gone already.
Of course he would.
So I can't understand how they've had a better
You give
season.
them credit for what they did winning that?
I could not give a damn. Give them credit for. Did they give us credit for winning the league too? If they gave us credit for winning the league twice a while, then yeah.
More successful season than us. But I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not having that at all, right? Because number one, we're not in the Europa League because we played too good to get into the Europa League, right?
Yeah.
So we can't win the Europa League.
Exactly.
We're in a competition that to win that is harder.
Absolutely.
Right? So I know people will say, how can you win the Conference League where I've never heard of, no disrespect to that team, but that team that Chelsea are playing, I've never heard of that team in my life. Yeah. Sorry, we're not in that competition.
Exactly.
That competition is below us. You can't say, because we're in the Champions League.
The highest of the highest.
And Spurs and United, we're not in the Europa League because we qualified in a higher competition. So if you win that, you haven't had a more successful
season.
Of course not. I think you could own...
in North London, Spurs are having their open top bus parade. It should finish soon, actually, starting at 5:30.
I mean, I don't care. Just hold your hands up. We're bothered. I'm bothered that they've won it. And if I be really honest about it, look, it's a cup competition that we couldn't even enter. All right, you know. So, but a few of my mates have been on the phone and whatever. Like, you know, none of them were worried about 21 defeats when they were celebrating that yesterday. None of them. So, you know, they're in a little bit of a different position to us, but 17 years, you know, let them have their moment. You can only beat what's in front of you. I get in all this that they've played crap teams, they have, but at the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you. They've done that. And at the end of it, they've picked up a trophy, and I don't care what anybody says. You know, I think...
Undivided, Scran United. Let me tell you this about them, yeah? 3 man like Morgan, we've beaten you. Them man have been turned over like a mattress, rude boy. You know, like that. And I am here for a final. Us Tottenham fans, we ain't seen a trophy in like 17 years. 17. Babies are born, they get their national insurance card, and they get a job. And I ain't seen no piece of silverware. All of that will change today, bruv. You know what I'm saying? My voice is gone. I need a bro. As long as my name's expressions oozing, we are rolling in to the Spur Bilbao, and we are going to get a result. Forget about Ruben scammer him. Forget about Ruben hammer him. Forget about all of that. Yeah? Let me tell you this, yeah? Ruben hammer him, you're leaving with nothing but your son's trousers, because we...
Why did that happen?
You haven't won it for 55 years. 55 years.
Right.
55
years.
All right. Listen. You know, I want to get the same James. Right. Hold on.
I'll Skelly into midfield because I didn't want to lose what Declan Rice does for us in midfield. Not only do we lose Thomas Partey in this game today, by the way, he's got to take a lot of play for it.
1 second. So who would you have played as?
I've told you how many more times I've got to fucking tell you. Skelly in midfield, Declan Rice stays insane.
No, but where's?
I'm saying wherever fucking holding midfielder, Rob.
So Lewis Skelly's holding midfield.
Midfielder, Rob.
So Lewis Skelly's holding midfielder.
Holding midfielder, yes. Declan Rice doing what he's doing.
When's he ever played there?
That's his position in the league and all that.
When have you seen him play there?
When I've seen him playing, he's played it every fucking week in the youth team, Rob, like every week.
The youth
have you seen him play fucking left back? When have you seen him play left back until he's fucking done it this season? Don't make excuses. Do not make excuses.
Calm down, right?
Fucking right.
Our manager again disrespecting a female reporter after the game. A manager sitting in the pre-match press conference waffling about XG. Yeah, how about expected piss-offs, mate? How about that? Oh, first opportunity to drop Declan Rice because he's injured. You dropped him. First opportunity to drop Urian Timber because he's been playing injured as well. You dropped him. Actually crazy that is. But don't worry, guys. Doesn't matter that Spurs have got to a final and I'm jealous. Doesn't matter Man U got to a final and I'm jealous. Chelsea final, I'm jealous. Palace final.
As I said, the second bottling for me was on the pitch today.
Yep.
They bottled it.
Yep. Your daughter mentioned that young fullback getting a start. They didn't.
Pushing for the deal, scouting the player, weighing up the options, monitoring, discussing. They appreciate the player, edging closer, studying, exploring, flirting, leading the race, targeting, prioritizing, considering, keeping tabs on the player, agreeing personal terms, following. He's a concrete name. Luring, gauging, in love with. How many more buzzwords do these journalists?
Welcome to the show, people. We're back and we're locked in after a good Champions League win yesterday. Arsenal versus Olympiacos, 2-0 win with goals from the likes of Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. We are going to dissect every piece of Jesus. Sorry, guys. We're going to dissect every piece of football yesterday, and we're going to get straight into it. Guys, first of all, let's touch on the lineup. We shall touch on the Arsenal lineup, people. As we can see in front of us, Arsenal started with obviously David Raya at the back, completed with obviously David Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, and the final change in formation at the back was Lewis Skelly. Obviously, we know Calafiori has played the last six or so games for Arsenal Football Club at left back. Been waiting for Lewis Skelly to make his appearance this season in regards to a start, and Arteta chose to give him a start at the Champions League. I mean, if that doesn't show respect, if that doesn't show Lewis Skelly is included in the plans, then I don't know what else. But I'm very, very happy that Lewis Skelly got to play yesterday. Also kept a clean sheet. Overall, it was an excellent defensive performance. Excellent as usual, knowing the Arsenal football team, should I say. Now, let's touch on the midfield. Because as we can see, guys, in regards to the players yesterday, we had Martin Zubimendi, Moreno, and Odegaard in midfield. Yes, Pete. Now, was I expecting Declan Rice to play? I was. I will not deny the fact that when I saw Moreno starting, I was a little surprised. However, I do feel the squad depth allows us to do this. You know, we haven't had the squad depth for a number of years now. And it's one of the major reasons as to why I personally felt Arsenal fell short last season. We fell short in the Premier League by not competing at any point from November onwards. And then we also fell short, at the Champions League against PSG. Some would say because we had no strikers. I would say we had no squad in depth. So there could be plenty of reasons. But in regards to the midfield was interesting yesterday. It was interesting. Now, moving into our attacking positions, we have the likes of Trossard, Martinelli, and Gyökeres playing. Now, we are going to dissect, starting from up front. Let's touch on Trossard in our front three. Now, Trossard's performance yesterday was absolutely atrocious. In my personal opinion, I'm not actually sure as to why Trossard keeps starting games. I feel Arteta needs to explain this. I mean, Trossard gave us a good performance coming off the bench about 3 games ago. Ever since then, Trossard has started games. When Trossard has started games, his performances have not been up to par. His performances have not been what Trossard shows us that he can do. Trossard consistently blasting the ball over the net yesterday, like he didn't know where the target was shocking. Absolutely shocking. We should have won that game probably by 5 or 6 goals. Yes, I'm saying it now. We should have won that game by 5 or 6 goals. I don't care what anyone tells me here. Because when we dominated Olympiacos, the way we dominated Olympiacos, guys, just taking that into consideration alone, we're very hard to be beaten. Arsenal Football Club, Mikel Arteta, I don't know, you want to say Saliba, Gabriel, whatever reason you want to put behind the fact that teams don't really get past our defense. Could be plenty of reasons. As far as I'm concerned, it's Arteta. And Arteta has made us a very solid defensive team. Now, let's touch on Gyökeres. In my personal opinion, Gyökeres had a good performance. Better than we have seen all season. Now, is that because of the Champions League? Is that because teams tend to open up more against us in the Champions League? Teams in the Champions League have pride. We're all very proudful of being in the Champions League. We all want to play our styles. But that's the thing I love about Arsenal Football Club, and that's the thing I love about my club, is that we can go up against any style. We have shown that we are able to compete at all levels. If the team want to play low block, if the team want to play long ball, if the team want to play tiki-taka, we have shown that we can nullify the teams that we come up against, which is an excellent trait for a championship winning team. Yes, we're not there yet. But as you guys know me already, I love basketball. And at the same time, in basketball, they also say defense wins championships. So in order for us to win a championship, I personally do believe the defense plays a huge part. So give credit to Arteta in making the defense a solid piece of work right there. Now, moving on to Martinelli, our goal scorer. Wow. Guys, if you guys have been watching me from less than 500 subs, because I'm not even 1,000 subs yet, if you guys have been locked in with me, you will know for a fact that Arsenal Football Club, Martinelli over the last 2 seasons has been lackluster for us. He hasn't shown us what he showed us in his first season when Arsenal were competing. He hasn't shown us what Martinelli showed us in his first season when he broke through at Arsenal Football Club. It's been a while since we've seen that Martinelli. However, over the last 3 or 4 games, that is the exact Martinelli we have been seeing. And I never thought I would praise Martinelli again. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. It takes a lot for me to change my mind. So, Martinelli's lackluster performance for a year and a half made me lose all belief in Martinelli. All belief. Every single piece of belief I had in him. Every ounce of it. I lost it. Because I just thought this guy just loves running around. He can't beat his defender. He doesn't look up. Which, to be fair, all things are still true. They are all still true up until now. However, Martinelli has shown that he might know how to use his speed now. He might have a bit more IQ in regards to being an effective attacker. The goal he scored with Eze passing him the ball, just a long ball over the top, Martinelli controls it. His first goal this season, he controls it. First of all, I didn't think he was going to control it, but he went on to score a goal. Slotted it right underneath the goalkeeper, which I think was an excellent goal. So shout out to Martinelli on that instance. The next goal, round about the same thing. Ball over the top again. Martinelli latches onto it. He scores a goal. Now, yesterday, big respect to Martinelli. Guys, big respect to Martinelli. I'm not kidding here. Because the reason why I say a big respect to Martinelli is because he didn't intentionally steal Gyökeres's goal. He didn't intentionally do it. Martinelli waited till the ball hit the post. Now, if that was a bunch of other attackers, which I have seen over and over again in the past, even the likes of Neymar, top strikers, they will tap that goal. They will tap the ball to make sure they have scored that goal. But Martinelli gets props from me because that shows huge maturity. It shows Martinelli has shown that he is growing. He's a young man who understands that that shot from Gyökeres should have been a goal. However, keeper done well, hitting it onto the parrying it onto the post, which would have given a chance for the defender to clear it. But Martinelli stayed with the ball. He stayed in front of the defender and he stayed to make sure that goal goes in. Taps it in. That was excellent play from Martinelli. So I have to give him his props. I'm not going to sit here and cuss Martinelli for his recent performances because he has actually done well for us. Now, that is the lineup, people. If you weren't aware of the lineup yesterday, that is the lineup. Moving forward, El Capitano, the man himself, what Arsenal are now calling the controller. Last night's player of the match was voted as Martin Odegaard. Yes, people, Odegaard played brilliant yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. And this is exactly what we've been screaming from Odegaard for the last how many months? In fact, it's been more than months since we've been screaming for a performance like this from Odegaard. Odegaard, put your head up. Odegaard passed the ball. Which is exactly what he done. He saw Gyökeres ready to make that break. And he slotted that ball in between both defenders. And it was left for Gyökeres to do the job. What did Gyökeres do? He barged off the defenders. Just bow. He says, you guys are not as strong as I am. He let them know who the main man is. So shout out to Gyökeres, people. Like I keep telling you. Excellent stuff from Gyökeres yesterday. Oh, we got a couple comments. Let's have a look at the comments, guys. It's been a while. It's been a while. Big up Sheldon Johnson, my guy. As per usual, we are good. Except for Trashard. Big up Sheldon Johnson. He don't rate Trashard, man. He calls him Trashard, which is crazy. Sheldon Johnson also says, bro, the decision to wait for it to hit the post is mad. That could have wide and we would stay. Sorry, he says, bro, the decision for it to hit the post is mad. That could have been wide and we would state him or slate him, I'm assuming is what Sheldon is trying to say. I mean, that's a fair point. You are entitled to your own opinion as per usual, Sheldon. Everyone here is entitled to their own opinion. So I get what you're saying, but I see it totally different. And the reason why I see it totally different is the respect. And I personally feel like that ball was not going to go out. I don't think it would have went out because Martinelli was right in front of it. He was right in front of it. So if it was going out, I'm sure he would be able to gauge the trajectory of the ball, being right in front of the ball. What he was doing was shielding the ball away from the defender, in which I personally feel was right. I don't think he should have ran on and tried to steal Gyökeres' goal. I would have called him a scumbag for that. I would have called him an absolute scumbag for that. Me personally anyways. So like I keep saying, big shout out to Martinelli for actually just tapping that ball in after hitting the post. Yeah, he had work to do. But people, give him respect. Give him respect for that. Because it's not a small deal, because Gyökeres needs these goals. He's our striker. If Gyökeres doesn't score, if Gyökeres doesn't get that on target, everyone's slating Gyökeres, talking about your one-on-one. This is what we've needed Gyökeres to do, and then he finally gets in front of the goalkeeper and he doesn't score. We can't say that now, because that shot was a banging shot and it went through the goalkeeper. So give the props. Give props when it's due, people. We can't consistently hate. You man know me. I don't want. I've said over and over this season, I don't want Martinelli playing, especially after we signed Eze. I didn't want Martinelli in the team. But what Martinelli has done over the last few games, he warrants a place in the team. More than Trossard, in my personal opinion. He's the one that should be coming on in replacement of Eze. But what Arsenal showed us yesterday is that we have the squad in depth. And with that squad in depth, I honestly believe we can go far. And when I say far, I mean we could definitely reach the same point we reached last season, which was the semi-final. And we can go further. Now that we have the right players, now that we have players who can take the load off of certain players, this is exactly what we wanted for ages. So shout out, big shout out to the team, and big shout out to Martin Odegaard yesterday. He played a good number of passes which could have led to goals. Sorry guys, I keep having hiccups. What I need right now is water, but I only have OJ. Apologies, people. I don't know why I keep hicking up this morning. So like I was saying, big props to Odegaard, man. The captain actually showed us why he's captain last game, yesterday. He showed us what we have been missing from Odegaard for almost 2 seasons now. Yes, we've literally been missing those simple passes from Odegaard for 2 seasons. And it's been nothing short of absolutely frustrating. Yeah? So, props to Odegaard for the man of the match performance. Now, like I did say, guys, I did want to touch on Gabriel Martinelli. I mean, we did basically just touch on Martinelli, but exactly what I stated, guys, right here in front of us. his redemption arc looks like it's on its way. A goal and assist against Athletic Club, a late equaliser against Manchester City, and then the opener against Olympiacos. That's 3 goals and an assist in 4 games. That's 4 goal involvements from Martinelli, who's been stinking up the place for the last year and a half. Absolutely stinking it up, bro. But they're just running around, just farting. He's farting. He's letting gas go. He's just running and just letting gas go. But redemption arc might just be on its way, people. So until we see this for at least a minimum of 5 more games, I don't want to hear no redemption arc shenanigans on Martinelli. None. I need consistency. Now he's done it for 3 games. After these 3, I need more. We're 7 games into the season, 8 games into the season if you want to count, Carabao, is it, or 9 games. 9 games into the season in all competitions, and Martinelli has 3 goals and an assist. I mean, people, let's not be disingenuous here, man. Let's not be disingenuous here. I didn't think Martinelli was going to start this season this way. If anything, I expected these numbers from the likes of Eze. I expected these numbers from the likes of Gyökeres, even on Noni Madueke, because Noni Madueke has shown he can actually get past his defender. The only thing is Noni Madueke has no end product. He's just a better version of Martinelli, in my personal opinion, which means they have room to grow. So we have to be patient where we can be, people. We have to be patient where we can. Yeah. Moving forward. Hand of Arsenal. Hand of Arsenal also pointed out the performance from the likes of David Raya yesterday. He says he won't get the plaudits, but David Raya today was spectacular. Unsung, Jesus Christ. Unsung hero. Excellent performance. And I absolutely agree. David Raya has made 2 big saves in the last 24 hours. If David Raya did not make those saves that he made during the game yesterday, I wouldn't be sitting here talking about Arsenal 2-0. I wouldn't be sitting here talking about Arsenal could possibly go far in the Champions League. None of that. It won't be happening. That will never happen. But right now, we have a solid defense and a solid goalkeeper. Yeah? I don't know what else you want to say. I'm not going to sit around here and say, oh, David Raya is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I think, obviously, your team plays a part. So, David Raya being put in an Arsenal team, you get a good number of clean sheets. But at the same time, he does his job. He does his job. He's awake. We can't compare David Raya to Ramsdale, because Ramsdale was asleep in that goal. When I sit here and I complain about Ramsdale, people will tell me, oh, Ramsdale was a good shot stopper, because that's all you need to be a goalkeeper, shot stopping, because literally that's the be all and end all of being goalkeeper. I think it's madness. I think it's absolute madness. Yeah, David Raya has shown he's a better goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale, and he's shown that he can save us in the big games. He's shown that he's awake. He's shown that he's very difficult to beat. He's very difficult to beat, especially at corners. Like, you know what, guys? This is not even a complaining stream. I'm not going to sit here and complain when Arsenal have won, which I did do a lot yesterday, but I have to be honest today. This morning, I've calmed down. I've relaxed. I've looked at things, in the grand scheme of things, should I say. I looked at things a bit deeper, only to realize we have a solid team. I'm sorry. No one is going to sit here and tell me Arsenal do not have a good team. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. We have a good team, and we can go far. We can go far. I'm sorry. Sheldon Johnson says best in the league. Yes, we are the best in the league. I definitely agree with that rhetoric. Will we go on and win the Premier League? I don't think so. I don't think so. We have to wait and see. I can't sit here. We're not even halfway through the season and give predictions on Arsenal winning the league. I think it's diabolical. We're literally not even halfway through the first 15 games. We're not even halfway through. Or are we? Yeah, just about halfway through. So, you know what I'm saying, people? Give credit where credit is due. Moving forwards. Obviously, Starboy himself. We have to touch on Starboy because people act like Starboy is not an absolute bad man. And when I say Starboy, I'm talking about the one and only Bukayo Saka. Right? I be on podcasts with fellow Arsenal supporters, fellow Arsenal fans, trying to dog Saka. People have been out there trying to tell me Saka's the issue. Do you know how mad that is? People have been out there telling me they prefer Noni Madueke to Saka. Look, and that's the issue with this fan base. That's the big issue with this fan base. Everyone is so reactionary. You know what Saka has done for us over the years? Consistency upon consistency. I have people out here in a YouTube world telling me Saka's not an out-and-out right winger. Or what does that even mean? So honestly, what does that even mean, bro? The brother has played right wing for the last 5 or 6 years of his life. But man come online and say out of their mouth that Saka is not a out and out right winger. Bro, it's madness. It's madness. It's pure madness, bro. I'm sorry. I ain't having none of it. Big up Yasser, because every time I be on stream with Yasser be telling me, oh, people don't double Saka. They just block his passing lanes. Well, what do you need to block the passing lanes? You need 2 people, right? You can't block the passing lane with 1 person, Yasser. You know? You block the passing lanes with 2 people. So what does that mean? He's being doubled. There's no argument here, bro. Now, let's touch on Saka's performance first of all before we go on and touch on the tweet I have to read right there. Saka played left wing yesterday, people. If you didn't watch the game and you're not aware, Saka came on for Trossard and he played left wing, which is something we have not seen since Arteta's first season. We haven't seen that since Arteta's first season. I'm sorry, but it's a fact and it's true. But the way he took that goal on his left foot yesterday showed you why he probably should be playing left wing. Showed you why he's our best player. Because he can do it on any side of the pitch. And now, Gyökeres on the other hand, I digress, but Gyökeres on the other hand does not look like he can run from the right inside. Gyökeres looks like he prefers to run from the left inside because he's right-footed, which I guess makes sense, right? He's not really prone to shooting with his left foot. So Gyökeres has some work to do in regards to you know, switching sides when the ball comes from the right hand side, and him, you know, turning his body or positioning his body in the right way to be very effective. But like I was saying on Saka, this tweet right here from James Bench, big shout out to James Bench. He says, Bukayo Saka has 11 Champions League goals in 19 games. Let me stop there before I carry on reading. Bukayo Saka has 11 Champions League goals in 19 games. This is the player that 2 or 3 years ago people were telling me he's not world class. And you know Rightfully so, because he wasn't in the Champions League. He didn't do it on the big stage. Now he's done it on the big stage. Yeah. On top of his 11 goals in 19 games, he has 6 assists in that time. 6 assists. Oh, wow. Why do people just sit here and discredit this guy? Why do people sit here and move like he's not effective? Noni Madueke don't have that. Huh? It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous when you deep what Saka has done in the Champions League alone. That's 17 involvements in 19 games. 17 involvements in 19 games, people. Saka is now level with Robert Perez for Arsenal's UCL goals. It took Perez 63 games. This is not a Bobby P slander. I promise I would never. However, 24 more matches to match Thierry Henry. You don't think Saka's staying here forever? Huh? You don't think Saka's staying here forever? Of course he is. He ain't going anywhere. He's going to be the first player at Arsenal Football Club to be over £300,000 a week once that contract is signed. Now, William Saliba, apparently, in regards to his contract with Arsenal, it looks like he's on about on £250,000 a week. In fact, we are going to check that right now, just in case it is there. I will see, or you guys will be aware of what Gyökeres is earning. Let's have a look, people. What is Gyökeres earning? Is it Gyökeres? Yeah, Gyökeres is on 250. No, Gyökeres is on £200,000 a week, guys. And William Saliba, with his new contract, is now on £250,000 a week. There we go. This is well deserved as far as I'm concerned. Personally, I do think he should be getting more. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I definitely think he should be getting more. Because Kai Havertz still being the highest paid player on this team is diabolical. It is diabolical. Yeah. So shout out to William Saliba for his new contract, which was signed literally just 2 days ago or so. Confirmed, sealed, done. He's with us till 2030. And his contract, if you did want to buy him out, is going to cost you around about 65 million base. So that means we're looking for around 65 million profit. So I would definitely say 130 million for William Saliba if anyone's trying to buy him. That's starting bid. Starting bid, people. William Saliba. If anyone is trying to buy William Saliba, £130 million base fee. Go and argue with your nan. Don't argue with me. I'm telling you facts and figures right now. Yeah, people. Right. This has been a good show. To round it off, I definitely wanted to point out this little clip from Thierry Henry yesterday, but he also states, and it quotes right there, I believe through a season you need your bench. This is why I think Arsenal this year have a big chance to win stuff, because the bench can change the game. The bench can change the game. How long has it been since Arsenal had a bench worthy of changing the game? Yesterday, we had the likes of Saka, Timber on the bench, Declan Rice, Ethan Nwaneri and Max Dowman. If you don't want to count Ethan and Max because they're quite literally unproven talent, we can definitely say the likes of Eze, Timber, Declan Rice and Saka being on the bench shows that we have a strong bench. We don't have to play him out every single game. So shout out to Arteta for actually doing his job there. And yes, that is it for today, people. I will be on more shows later in the evening. I will be on more shows later this evening, people, so do make sure to tune in. There we go, people. Has been a great stream. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and liked. Shout out Sheldon Johnson, as per usual, always locked in, man. Appreciate you, my guy. And yes, people, that is it. I should be on stream with Northside later this evening. Yeah, man, more content after you run, bro. We got to run the content now still. So yeah, thank you to everyone who tuned in. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, man, we out, people. Peace out.